As someone who's seen the entire Teen Wolf series 3 or 4 times over now, I guess you could say I've been looking forward to this movie. And after seeing it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. There was a lot of loopholes in it and plot holes, and it had its fair share of problems. But overall, it was a great movie. I enjoyed it. 2 hours and 20 minutes long. Did not feel like it at all. We get a little bit of a glimpse of what Scott and the rest of the crew has been doing on their own over the past several years. And then Scott's got to reunite the entire pack to fight one of the worst enemies they've ever fought before, yet again. Now, I will say that this movie wasn't 100% necessary. I enjoyed seeing it because I just want to see the characters again. I want to see the fangs and the glowing eyes and the transformations and everything I was excited for in the series. Now, the series ended really, really well. And for that reason, part of me feels like it was kind of a cash grab. The other part was the fans were just screaming for more. We wanted more, so they had no other way of bringing the series back considering the way it ended. I mean, they probably could have. I could have thought of a few ways. The easiest way was just to make a movie, and they did. The entire cast came back with the exception of 2, Styles and Kira. Now, Styles' absence was definitely felt in this movie. He was the comedic relief. He was the brains behind the detective work. He was the one without superpowers, but yet he contributed just as much, if not the most, to the pack itself. But we all know he had his own personal reasons for not coming back, and we can't really blame him. It's just a career choice that he made. But then we have Kira, who we know didn't come back because of a lack of agreement in her contract. The weird thing about this is that because of her absence, we get now a new character who is the same character with a different name. Now we have Hi Kira. That's right. It's really the same name. They put an H and an I in front. Now it's Hi Kira. Same look, same wardrobe, same powers. She's in the kitsune. And it just feels like she was recasted. But it's basically her. I mean, at least could have gave me a little bit of a backstory on where she came from, but no, we're just going to throw her in the mix with the rest of the pack and be like, here you go. Here's another kitsune to take over the one that we lost. But I do like what they had Scott doing over the years. His career choice. I mean, he's still doing the animal clinic. He's still rescuing people and animals, and he's just being Scott. He's the true alpha. He always does what's right. He follows his heart. And he thinks his way out of problems instead of fighting his way out of problems. I mean, obviously, he fights if he has to. He is the alpha. I want to see him fight. Be powerful. Be the alpha. But that's what makes Scott different than all the others. Now, all the other members of the pack come back. Malia, Lydia, Parrish, Jackson. I mean, all of them come back, and they all fall right back into the same roles they did years ago seamlessly. With the exception of Crystal Reed, who played Allison Argent, because she actually got better at her role. She probably had the best acting of this entire movie. As far as the storyline and the plot goes, I think they did an okay job, and I'm going to simply say okay because there's a lot of holes that need to be filled in for me. For instance, I'm not going to give too much away because this is spoiler-free review. Liam is in charge of a particular item, but when something drastic happens with this item, I feel like there should have been a scene where you saw Liam call or text Scott saying, hey, something just went down. This is going to be a problem. We need to get the band back together. Solve it. No. Didn't happen. Little details like that is something that I want to see happen because it adds that extra drama. Meanwhile, Scott's already on the situation, but for different reasons. But for me, there's a lot of loose ends like that that don't tie in well. I do like Derek as a father, though. Derek Hale's back, but this time he's a dad trying to raise his teenage son, who's also on the lacrosse team. This fatherly role that he now plays is very much the exact same role that he plays in Superman and Lois. If you've seen Superman and Lois, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, well, now you know what he's like in Superman and Lois. I mean, he's a very strong, powerful figure who is trying to be a softer, gentler parent. And that's exactly what he brings to this show. And it's the exact same character he plays in Superman and Lois. So he's definitely bringing that over from the other show. Now, because this is a movie of what are now said to be adults rather than high school teenagers, they're able to curse a lot more and get a lot more adult type content out there, which I think was very interesting. I did enjoy that thoroughly. I think that's what this movie needed to separate itself from the series a little bit, so it wasn't so comparable. But since, Liam and Malia were the ones with the anger issues, hearing them dropping F-bombs and cursing throughout the movie was very fitting. Overall, the movie gave you everything you wanted. We got all the characters back. We got all the glowing eyes and the fangs and the transformations and the drama, the big enemy battle at the end, and even death. Yes, people die in here. I'm not going to tell you who or how, but there are deaths. If you did see this movie, I want to know what your thoughts are. Did you enjoy it? Were there things about it you couldn't stand? Was it above or below your expectations? Do me a favor, drop a like on the video for me. Hit that subscribe button on your way out if you haven't already. I'm Kevin, and I'll see you at the concession stands.